Okay, thank you so much for joining us today, Robert. I've got to say, before we get started, please do take this moment to kind of introduce yourself to those listening, and share more about who you are and what you do.
Well, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whoever and wherever you are in the world. My name is Rob, or some people know me as Coach Chris. I do a few things. First of all, I'm a project manager, so I manage a lot of projects in the financial sector. As well as this too, I'm a coach. I'm a public speaking coach. And as well as this too, I'm also a speaker. So I've had the privilege of speaking at some of the biggest companies in the world, such as IBM, Microsoft, some of the biggest universities, Warwick, UCL. I've been born to speak there because for me, my biggest desire to get to this world is to speak life into people. So essentially, my whole life is just about communicating and speaking to people. That's really what I do.
What we're going to focus in on today is this concept of public speaking, specifically public speaking for entrepreneurs. To kick off, I've got to say, I think that there's a bit of a misunderstanding around what people mean by public speaking. What would you say if you were to explain public speaking? How would you do it?
I love what you said there because that's why I was nodding my head so much because there's such a misunderstanding. Public speaking, so many people is like you go to speak on stages, but public speaking is so much more than that. Public speaking is literally technically if it's me and you and then the other people, that's public speaking in of itself, right? Public speaking is speaking in front of a group of people. It could be one person, it could be two people, it could be 100,000 people. The whole essence of it is speaking to a group of people with the goal of it to influence people, for people to be able to see how you see. So public speaking is not just speaking on the stage, it is simply speaking to wherever in front of people. Simple as that.
Love that. Because I think as a lot of entrepreneurs watching this, they probably work online. Like most of the people watching this are sat at home on their own and they're like, oh, well, I don't do public speaking. This isn't going to be for me. The kind of interaction you're doing where you're speaking in front of people to me means public speaking. So I even drill down sales calls and things like that under the umbrella.
I had one client a couple of months ago now. He was a business coach. He came to me, he was around 5K, he was at 5K a month. He said, I don't know how it's going to help me, but I want to do it because I want to improve my public speaking because he wanted to, one, improve his sales skills and two, improve his ability to be more credible because as well as public speaking, improving you as a person, making you more confident. As I was saying, he was at 5K a month when he came to us. Now he's at 25K a month. And all because he honed in on one is public speaking and two, the skill sets which come public speaking, such as confidence, such as ability to lead, all these things here which are so important to businesses and entrepreneurs. He did the work there with us and he's literally 5X his business. So
amazing.
Very, very
amazing. Well, congratulations on a job well done if he's got those kind of results.
Thank you very much. Now I take it very seriously, because for me, my clients, they're my family.
Yeah. Okay, so people watching then who maybe were in that category of thinking that public speaking was just about speaking to a big crowd, coming to the realization that this is going to play into more. If you had to pick top 3 reasons, why should people consider honing in their public speaking skills?
Great question. Okay, cool. I think the first one is leadership. I mean, I would assume everyone who's watching this would not want to be a solopreneur forever, right? You have to be able to lead. So for you to be able to lead a team, you need to be able to speak confidently, speak articulately, be able to communicate your ideas. And the very essence of public speaking is the ability to communicate articulately and also confidently. So that's number one, why public speaking is an essential skill for all entrepreneurs to have, leadership. Number 2, a huge part of public speaking, which I talk about in my program, is storytelling. People don't buy facts, people buy stories. There's a reason why. I will give an example. Say, for example, Cinderella. The story of Cinderella. Nobody knows the author of Cinderella. Nobody. It's made in the 17th century. But if I tell you right now, tell me the script of Cinderella, you know the answer. Why is that? Because we naturally buy stories. So your ability to sell someone into your program is essential for them to buy into your program, right? So your ability to tell stories is essential, which is why I say to all entrepreneurs, please work your public speaking because storytelling is essential. So number 1, leadership. Why is public speaking essential? Number 2, storytelling. Number 3, networking. I mean, if you want to meet new people, especially in this business space, you have to be able to speak up for yourself. And as we both said, right, public speaking is not just speaking on stages. It's the ability to go up to someone and be like, hey, my name's Rob, how you doing? How you doing? So it's like you have to be able to articulate yourself confidently, and working your public speaking helps you articulate yourself well.
Yeah, agreed. I think we were going to touch upon the benefits, but I think it honestly speaks for itself. Like if you're going to have better discovery calls or better sales calls, whatever you want to call it, better meetings with clients, better coaching sessions, that is reason enough to pay attention and consider your public speaking skills. But then from me, my background's marketing. I immediately start thinking about things like lives, webinars, and workshops. Like you said, even actually doing that, speaking on a stage and building authority. How many more opportunities being a strong and confident speaker give you just like blows my mind. And hands up, it changed my business as well.
100%. I said to you at the start of this call, I want to speak at Microsoft. Microsoft don't call people to come and speak to them, speak at their places normally, you know. UCL, LSE, Warwick. I've been to universities all around the country speaking, sharing wisdom, gifts, because I've honed in on my skill set. And for people who want to be seen as a more credible figure, because I understand the world is more online than ever, right? But nothing beats the one-to-one, face-to-face experience. Nothing ever will. So if you really want to build your credibility as a business owner, definitely invest into your public speaking. Just like a footballer, I was reading something yesterday. Just like a footballer, right? If you want to improve their skills, they'll get a coach. If you want to improve your public speaking, get a coach too. It's the same principle, right? If you want to be a more credible person in real life, work on it. Don't just wish upon a star, be the star.
Love that. Oh, that's a great little sound bite to take away.
For public speaking, you have to say one line to people. Like,
snap it down.
Yeah, so I've worked on that a lot. But yeah, don't just don't wish upon a star. Be that star. That's everyone right now. Be that star. You're confident, you're bold, you have a message to share. Don't let no one dim your light. Let your light radiate.
Yeah, and I can for sure speak to this because this is something I was interested to talk about because I grew my business off of workshops and off of public speaking events. If I kind of rewind here, when I first went into business, I was a marketing agency owner. I went down the traditional route. I was working with bricks and mortar businesses, but it was also COVID. I left full-time work in December 2019. So I went straight into COVID and was like, oh crap, like I have bills to pay. And now how am I going to get more clients in the door? Because I can't exactly go to their place. But I actually started doing speaking events and I partnered with like the local council and their business department and offered free webinars to whoever wanted to come, how to kind of market their businesses through COVID. I did endless amounts of that, partnering with business clubs all over my kind of local area and surrounding. And that really changed the game for me. I went from trying to get one-to-one bringing clients in the door to all of a sudden having at the least kind of 40-50 people in this online room, which became a leads list ultimately. And I think a lot of people don't use that kind of online stage or even face-to-face stage of public speaking as much as they could, because everyone in the room is sold on you when you're giving them advice. It's a lot easier to turn those people into customers.
And you know what I love about what you just said there? You came on your heart posture was a service. You didn't get paid to do this. Like, no. Guys, please take this in what she's saying. You didn't get paid to speak at a council. You didn't get paid to speak at these business clubs, but you did it with half service. And at the end of the day, that propelled your business. I think that's really important. And also, to me, it just shows the whole point of just delaying gratification. Because I didn't even know you did it for free. Like, we were speaking about this, right? I didn't know you did it for free. You told me you did it for free.
At first, well, these days maybe not so much, but of course, like to kick off, I did everything for free.
Wow, that's really, really powerful. I'll take that on board because at the end of the day, for me personally, you're never too. Obviously, of course, we get paid, we pay our bills, we want to live a life of abundance. But hey, I mean, if it can help you in the long run by you doing something for free, then why not? So now I want to second that point. I think workshops are very, very good for you to be able to build a list of people who generally care about you and most importantly care about improving.
Yeah, exactly. And it becomes like you can add them to your email list as long as you ask. You can add them to your email list. You've got that list of people that you can do direct outreach to. And one of my biggest things was I followed up with everybody with a kind of very specific message to them. So say someone asked a question, I would reference it in the email, offer to do a follow-on and ask them to get on a one-to-one call with me. And most of the time they would say yes, which meant most of the time there would be a follow-on, a sales conversation had. Not everyone said sign me up, but a fair few did.
That's amazing. And I want to keep on reiterating this point because it's so essential to me. Like what I'm taking on board here is like leading with service. I thought a lot of us, especially in the coaching space, we're so focused on just the bag, the money, but when you actually forget the money, and guys, don't lose me here when I say this to you guys. When you actually get the money and you just focus on the service, right? Everything else will come to you. It's like it seems backward, it seems counterintuitive, but one thing I've learned in my own business, the more I put people first, the more I always excel.
Yeah, agreed.
It's simple as that. So yeah, I just want to say that point very quickly.
Yeah, especially for those of you watching who are maybe in like really early stages for your business, like don't feel like you have to start with charging the world. Like you can do stuff for free to a certain extent to prove and show your knowledge and your background in the space. And yeah, you'll have clients that you're batting off with a bat after a couple of months of doing that.
Yeah, literally that. It's all about just building the blocks steadily, right? It's all about building the blocks steadily. But no, one thing I wanted to say to you, what is I think I gave a few feet as to why public speaking is so important, like leadership, networking, communication. Another thing why public speaking is so important, right? Is because it makes you stand out.
Yeah.
Like what the biggest thing? One, I think I saw a stat. They said that the biggest thing people have isn't even deaf; it's public speaking. It's your ability to speak up. Not only will it give you confidence, but also most importantly, it will help you stand out. Because when I go to networking events, when I go to all types of events, the person who speaks is the one person you remember the most.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because you have the confidence, you have the boldness to be able to say, you know what? No, forget my fears. Let me speak up. Because I'm an opinion of this, right? People's biggest fears isn't actually public speaking. People's biggest fears are public perception.
Yes, agreed.
You see what I'm saying? You're not scared. You're not scared to speak, because if you're scared to speak, then you wouldn't speak one-to-one. The problem isn't public. The problem is what people are going to think about me. But what I say to people all the time, what I say to my clients all the time, is understand, when you speak, you have value to share. Anyone watching right now, anyone, please understand you have a voice to share. Like I said earlier on, don't dim in your light. Let your light radiate. Your light is your life. So when you have something to say, speak up, because you don't know who could be impacted by speaking up. That's what I always say to people: forget public speaking fears or public speaking. So forget public perception. Focus on public impact.
Yeah. And I will say, as somebody who does speaking now and has gotten to a point where I feel very comfortable with it, I do think one of the skills of being a good public speaker is you pick up on perception, and you can control that room, and you can manipulate. Seems like a hard word, but genuinely, like, you can manipulate the atmosphere and make sure that if you are losing people, you know when is the time to throw in that one liner that's going to catch everyone's attention, or it's part of the process in learning that skill to manage perception.
100%. When I'm speaking on stages, I'm active. Like, one thing about me, I'm saying one-liners, I'm speaking, I'm moving around. Even at the end of all my events, I always turn around and say to them, because obviously the podcast is called Purpose Led. So I say purpose led, and I say to them, you say back to me, to the world and back. I say purpose led, they say to the world and back. So it's like we'll go back and forth. I'm speaking to them about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Every time I speak to people, I'm always making sure it's not about me. I'm always bringing the audience in, because as a huge proponent of storytelling, it's not about you. It's about them.
Yeah.
So that's what I always do.
Love that. And I do a lot of online stuff, which can be harder to read, but I make sure that everyone in the room has their cameras on wherever they can. And I'm watching that Zoom screen in the top corner like a hawk. And if I start to see the note pen get dropped, or people are starting to look around, or maybe they're doing an email in the back, like, you best believe I'm changing the pitch, I'm changing the pace, we're making sure we're getting people back in the room.
If you really want to propel your ability to get people to buy into you, stop talking about I, and then talk about you. So if you say, for example, right, let's say, okay, random example, I go to Tesco, and I'm like, oh, so yesterday I went to Tesco, you know. So for me to really get you to buy into what I'm saying, I don't just talk about me. I talk about you. So I say something like, yesterday I went to Tesco. Do you ever get annoyed when you're on the aisles at Tesco and you just feel like everyone's in your way? And everyone's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I feel like that too. So I've gone to talk about me to now relating it back to you. Now people are more bought into me. I spoke at an event. People are hooked on what I'm saying for hours. Not because I'm like some guru, but because I use the skills of storytelling to a T.
Yeah,
I do.
I'll say that's probably applicable to a lot more than speaking, because you're saying that and it's reflecting with me to marketing and content creation. Written words is so important as well, to not, if you're just posting on Instagram every day, I did this and I can do that and I can help you in this way, it gets dull really quick. But either telling your story in a way that people can relate to or targeting your language to them always helps with that as well. So a lot of these principles come back around. My people watching this will know I whack on all the time about how everything in business is circular. Like good practice in one area always seems to come back around, and always it interconnects and overlaps in so many ways. And this is just another example of that.
100%. Like, but one thing I keep on saying, I keep on like going on about this: serve people, serve. You serve a people, and I promise you, you'll be served. It's just how life is. Cyclical nature, as you said, cyclical. Like, and when I say serve, I mean making posts for other people, not just about yourself. When I see people posting, right, they just talk about themselves all the time. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't want to hear this. I don't care. But when you talk about other people, right, I'm like, oh, or say you're relating it back to me, or care about what I think. I'm like, okay, cool. I want to listen to what you're saying now. But so guys, like, please focus less about you. Focus on your target audience. Focus on feeding them, serving them, and giving them life through what you're saying. And I promise you, everything else will come back to you.
Yeah. And that education can be in a number of ways as well. I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking education just means tips and tricks and just means like giving them advice on how to, but that's really not the case. You can give value in so many different ways. You can give value by making people aware of their problem. You can give value by making them aware of that there is a solution, that what the solution is. There's so much more to it. So please don't lean on like just going to be putting your top 5 ways and that type of content, because the true value is getting people to understand how they can apply your work, not just giving it to them on a plate. Because if you give them the answer without the tools, to the cutlery, so to speak, it won't get them anywhere in the long run. It's just more noise and more knowledge that they can't put to use.
That's so good. Application is everything. Like, if I really want to find facts, I'll go on Google. That's where you come in as a person. Like, you have to bring your own style, your own little sauce aside. So yeah, no, I love what you said there. Like, please don't just focus on giving facts or how-tos. Every single person is doing how-tos. Add your story, add your content, which is where public speaking comes in, right? Add your little sprinkle to it so that you can actually stand out in the market. The market isn't saturated because there's only one of
no such thing.
And that's a mindset shift you have to have.
Yeah.
Every single market is an opportunity for you to win. It's up to you to be yourself. The moment you actually step into who you are, or better language, the moment you step into the star you've been created to be, is the moment you'll start to stand out in the market. Don't dim your light, let your light radiate.
Love that. Okay, now I'm sure at this point that people watching are thinking, like, I always say by the end of it, they're getting to the point where they're going, yeah, oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. I'm sold. How should you users watching start the process of being a better speaker? We always want to know the how here.
That's amazing. Okay, cool. First of all, I'll give you the most basic one, which is like, it's all well and good. I'll say to you, okay, cool, practice, but forget that one. The most important thing I would say to you to be able to improve your public speaking is to forget yourself. Now, what am I saying about that? What does that mean? It means think less about yourself. Sometimes humans, we're so selfish, you know. Honestly, like, we'll go to the stages, we'll go speak at these webinars, these events, these seminars. We're thinking, oh my God, what people can think about me? Forget about that. When you think of it like that, I promise you, public speaking comes so much easier. So the biggest thing I'll say is how to forget yourself and focus on the end user. How can I impact them? How can I help them be better? And most importantly, how can I allow them to live a life of purpose? Advice number 2 in terms of how to improve your public speaking is to understand. I keep on saying it, maybe because I'm a star myself, you're a star yourself, right? Understand that when you're the expert, you have value to share. You may not feel like it, but thank God that's a feeling. Feelings come and go like the wind. One day you feel amazing, next day you feel down. You know it is. We're humans, right? Yeah. But when you're speaking, I want you to condition your mind to understand you are an expert, and most importantly, which might be the hardest thing for you to hear, because depending where you are in your business, you may feel like you have less value to share, but that's not true. So understand you're the expert, regardless of you're at £0 a month or 10K a month or £100,000 a month. It doesn't matter. When you speak, you are the expert. You have value to share. Share your message because you have a light which people need to hear. So I think that's the 2 biggest how-tos, what I say to people. And I think mindset is so important because I say to my clients all the time, before you become an amazing public speaker, or before you believe that you will be an amazing public speaker, guess what comes first? And both those 2 words there, The words be.
Mm-hmm.
Become, believe. Now, how do you become or believe? You have to set your mind.
Yeah.
You have to set your mind to be that person.
Yeah.
Not just by saying, "Oh, I am this, I am that." No, it means accountability. It means action. It means proactivity, and it means actually moving. Because with my clients, module 1 of public speaking is the mindset of public speaking.
Yeah.
I don't like that module alone can make you a great public speaker, but I'm of the mindset like nothing great comes without you changing your mind.
Yeah.
And it's a choice. That's why accountability and people around us and coaches are essential to help us on our journey to overcome those limiting beliefs.
Yeah. And this is where it gets tricky, because what will change your mindset, it may be different. Like some of the people watching might remember me telling a story when I was first going into public speaking face to face. I had a really big mental block. All my speaking had been done through COVID. It was all done online. And when it came to speaking face to face, I was terrified, even though it was the same thing. It was literally talks I'd already delivered online, but I was terrified by this idea. And I had done quote unquote the mindset work, but I just couldn't shift it. There was just something that wouldn't click. And I ended up going and getting hypno. And
I remember.
Yeah. It was like completely out there. It was just one of those timing was right things. Someone in my network, her husband just qualified, and he was looking for kind of people to hone his craft on. And for him, public speaking was something that was like, oh yeah, that's super simple. We can deal with that in just a session or two, no worries. And the work that I did with him was fascinating. Like he did things like visualization activities where he made me think of somebody who I thought was a great public speaker. And then he talked through kind of me seeing them on a stage and then that being me on a stage. And I could see it in my brain, this kind of flicker of it was them, it was me, it was them, it was me, until it was just me. And he was talking me through all these mindset activities. And I'll be honest, I walked into the sessions a little bit guarded and a little bit like, let's see if this will work, because I've tried everything else and nothing else did. And I finished the sessions and I went on to do a talk in front of 120 people without flinching. So explore what's out there as well. You might not be able to do this on your own. You might need to work with someone like Rob, or you might need a hypnotherapist if you're like me to get you over that lump. But it is a way to get over the fear and to get out there and be comfortable with it.
I'll be a believer two's better than one. Like stronger together. Like, guys, if you want to get to a goal faster, you want to grow a business even stronger, you want to build credibility as a business owner, invest into public speaking, invest into yourself, full stop. Yeah, completely agreed. Everyone watching will have seen a TikTok that I've posted and reposted, I think, a million different times at this point, that's talking about why you need a coach. And the whole focus is, I was asked a question in a discovery call with a client who said, do I need a coach? Because in theory, couldn't I just learn all this stuff myself? Good.
Yeah, she's right. Good. You could. You absolutely can. You can always figure things out on your own. If you don't have the budget right now, it's perfectly acceptable for you to start that process yourself. The benefit that you have of a coach is accountability, but also the experience of someone else. They can collate the things that you need to know instead of everything. Because if you have to go to the internet, go to Google and learn from scratch, you'll learn all the stuff that's irrelevant to you as well. And only from having learned it and it not working will you realize. So working with a coach, working with anyone who can support you in your business is just going to expedite things like times 10, honestly. Or time.
You know what? I think we have to understand people, right? We have a very finite time here on this earth.
Yeah.
Finite time here is not to just live, but to make an impact. I always talk about service and impact. Because as you can see from my language, I'm very forward thinking. I'm very goal focused, but generational thinking, right? So why am I saying this? I'm saying this, right, because if you really want to impact people in a shorter space of time, cut down the time period for you to get to that goal. So, for example, say you want to be a better marketer, you can learn everything online. Technically, you can, but why do that? We can work with you. You know?
Yeah.
You can be an amazing public speaker. You've watched all the TED Talks in the world, but one, you're not really learning, you're just looking. Why just learn it in under 3 months or whatever long it takes a program to do with someone, and you have the skills forever? I'm very much on cutting down time and getting the results as fast as possible. So that's why I say invest in coaching, because everything is good on the internet, but not everything is going to be helpful for you.
Exactly. You're going to learn a bunch of useless stuff that isn't going to be applicable to your business, your goals, your passion, your value, all of these sorts of things. And I will say the lady who I was speaking to on that call did sign up. So it obviously resonated with her.
Amazing. Well done, by the way. No, it's true. It's said that to her because at the end of the day, like, what does she value more? Does she value potentially saving money or get the results?
And this is the thing with everyone I speak to. Like, we were talking about tips and tricks as well. You can go and find everything online. There's a million tips and tricks, but you can't. It's the implementation. It's the application of it to your specific set of needs. That's the missing piece a lot of the time.
100%. Yeah. Nah, I mean, I've got to say apart from that.
Yeah, we've kind of gone on to the power of coaching because it's something that we're obviously both so passionate about. I have to say at this point, is there any final thoughts, any final nuggets that we haven't had the chance to touch upon today that you'd like to share with the audience?
Okay, well, maybe one thing I will say is this, right? Is module. So I've got in my program itself, we have 6 modules.
Mm-hmm.
And my third module for me, no bias, is the art of vulnerability. Now, why do I say this, right? Because speakers, it's always one thing speaking in front of people. There's nothing impacting people. And the whole point of speakers is to impact them, right? So what I say to my clients, which I'm gonna say to the audience today, right? Guys, don't neglect speaking vulnerably. Share your story, share your scars. Why?
Yes.
Because your scars turn to stars. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. No, but your scars can turn to stars. What do I mean by that? Your scars can impact people and make more stars. So rather than you being so guarded off, and I understand how it is, I get it. We live in a society whereby people can be quite judgmental. But trust me, in the same way I say to you, you serve more, you'll be served more. You serve more, you'll be served more. You share your scars, and you trust me, you'll be so surprised how far you go. People are like, oh my God, I relate to that so much. And people don't just buy, and now people buy into you. If you need help, we're here to help.
Yeah. And on that note, you're there to help. So where can people find you if they decide that they want to get the ball rolling and get started working with someone to expedite this process, or need to kind of see and follow you online to keep in the loop?
Well, first of all, I will say, thank you everyone for your time today, taking us in. I'm sure and I hope you guys have been impacted. So what I'll say, in order to find me, so my name on Instagram is Robert, ROBERT, KLUTSEE, 2 E's. And if you want to find my website to potentially work with me, what you should do, there's a link in my bio. Go there, book a call with me. Good talk. Don't worry, I don't bite. Trust me. We'll just talk, see if I can help you. See if, we can help you get to your goals, and we go from there. But that's how you can find me. So Instagram, and then in the link below, my website. Or if you wanted to, DM me, and then we can go from there also. But I will say probably the website is probably the best way.
Yeah, of course. And as always, we will be popping those links in the description for you all to make it as easy as possible for you to find and connect with Rob. Thank you so much for your time today and sharing those nuggets and those little one-liners that I'm hoping you're going to stick in a few people's heads watching this.
Yes. That's the whole point of us speaking, right? For us to leave impact. So I hope everyone here has been impacted. And guys, have an amazing day. Continue to understand and continue to remind yourself you're running this race. It's not a race just for the short-hearted or for the short-sighted. Run the marathon and run the marathon to win. Don't give up. Trust me, you're further than you were a year ago. Even if you're not there financially, potentially, you're further than you were a year ago because you've been enduring. Guys, continue to keep on sowing and soaring through. I wish you all the best. Bye.
Love that. Thank you.